Hello, my friends, and welcome to 365 Days of Healing. We're going to discuss archetypes and what that means. Now, another way we could put that is, what hat are we wearing today, or what hats are we going to wear today? Now, I'm a mother, and I often wear the hat of the mother and all that that means: the nurturer, the protector, the one that looks after, the one that takes the lead. And I'm strong, and I can do this for you because I've got broad shoulders, and I'm the mother. And so suddenly the mother has become the martyr. Oh my God. So here I am now, the martyr, because I'll give up anything for my children, and not just for my children, but for anybody that I perceive needs mothering. So there you go. Is that who I really am? It's a part of who I really am. But of course, sometimes we wear the hat of the mother. We want to cluck around somebody and I'll make it right for you because I'm the mother, and I'll make it all fine, and I'll nurture you, and I'll hold you, and I'll look after you. But actually, sometimes that doesn't serve the other person, and it's not really serving ourselves if we trip over from being a nurturer and a carer into the martyr side of things. Now, very often the martyr will give up their life, and they're just so pure, and that's what I will present to the world. I will work selflessly for everybody else, and I'll put myself last, and that's the hat I wear as the martyr. Now, that's also a part of who I am. But if I allow that to have ascendancy, then often what happens with the martyr, if you allow yourself to become the martyr and show that persona to the world, what happens is then you become resentful, and then the victim rises. Now, when I'm the victim, and that's another hat I can wear, oh, nobody sees me clearly. My life's so difficult. If only you were in my shoes, you would understand. And it's a way of drawing energy from outside to feed something within us that we're not fulfilling for ourselves. So the victim plays that game too. The victim likes to be just that, a victim. The victim always has things going wrong. There is always drama in their life, whether it be they pull a plate down from the top shelf when they go to serve their dinner and drop it on the floor. Oh, nothing ever goes right for me. And so the victim comes forward. Now, the archetypes are born as universal characters that you may see in comics or cartoons. They are universal. They go through all cultures. They're the same in every religion and every template that you can think of. If you watch plays, if you watch television, you often see the archetype manifesting because, as I said, the victim is always the victim. Something's always going wrong. The drama is being played out all the time in their lives. Now, another archetype that we could think of would be the father and what the father represents. You know, the kindly, loving father who will take care of the flock, take care of the family. And again, they can very often become the martyr because they trip over from being the father, the protector, the provider, and they often trip over into nobody sees me clearly, but I will continue to do this selfless work for my family or for the community, for those around me, and I don't need anybody to see that I do this, but I am the epitome of what the father is. Then we might go to the actor. So this is another archetype. The actor never shows their authentic self. They are always wearing the hat of the actor. So they may act out being the father, being the mother, being the victim, being the carer, being the lover, being all those things that you can imagine an actor, the roles that can be taken. Now, they are roles. They are not the true self. When we go to the authentic self, the true persona of the person, the actor does not have a place. The actor can come forward and show the world what it means to be that true persona, but that can be an act as well. So the actor is a cunning little devil, because the actor can take on all different sorts of personas and pretend, and it is a pretense, to be all these characters, these universal characters that we may see in a religion, in a family, on television, at the movies, in books that we read. And the actor takes the role, but it's not the true self. All right, so then we may have the archetype of the rebel without a cause. Just be rebellious no matter what. Again, the government, again, everything. I am just a rebel, and I cherish being a rebel. I cherish being the outlaw. I cherish being the outsider from the norm. I love being a rebel. And that persona, that archetype, it's in all of us, because very often we want to rebel, we want to break down the barriers, we want to stop what's happening in our world, and we need to bring the rebel up so that they will stand firm and go against what's happening around them. And therein is born very often then the archetype of the warrior that stands their ground and bridges no opposition from anywhere. It just holds the line of being the warrior. It doesn't necessarily fight, but that warrior may be driven to fight. But that too, very often, is just an archetype and like a costume almost that we wear. And yet it is a part of who we are as well. Or we may be the artist, the creator, and we get lost in a world of our own creation. And we like to present that persona, that archetype, to the world. And you see many of those people out in the world. They often dress differently. They're very arty. We actually use that word. They like to play the artist. They like to play the character of the creator of their own world. And very often that's who they are. Musicians very often carry that archetype of being the creator. But it is not just who they are. There's many, many different facets, and it depends which archetype within us, which persona is ascendant at any given time. So be aware that it is very easy to just wear hats, to just seem to be a particular archetype, a particular persona. We also have in us the instinct of the animal, the anima, it's called. And that is the basest part of ourself. the basest part of who we are. And it's actually a bit mean to call us that, the anima, because animals have an innocence within that. But in us, in we humans, that part, that shadow part of us, that animal's part of us, can become very ascendant, and it can become very distorted, and it can drive us forward to do things that are inverted and distorted against the normal, natural way of things. So it's important to actually stop and look at these different parts of ourselves, these different personas, these different archetypes that are ascendant, that are also buried deep inside of us. Don't think that they're not there. They are there. We can pretend they are not, but they are there. And if we're honest, and if we sit with it and really look within, we can start to unravel the different parts of ourselves and the different personas, the different archetypes that are within us. All right, so I'll end with talking about the innocent, the magical, the part of us that is the child. The child, if the child leads, the child will be open to the awe and the wonder and the exploration of what it is to live on this earth plane. And it opens our heart to seeing the world through completely different eyes. We are in a state of wonder when the innocence of the child is allowed to come forward. So I'll leave you there, and happy exploring into the archetypes that you carry within you. Namaste.